I'm not a very fit person to address all of you, in the sense that my experience is from a different field where we learn of trade, commerce, engineering, medicine, everything. Because anyone can have a legal issue. And once you have that issue, necessarily you have got to go to a lawyer whom we would like to avoid, but can't help. And then court proceedings, where the things linger on and on and on. And a stage is reached when one feels that perhaps all this exercise is useless. Better thing is to settle the dispute and go home happy. And that is the type of emphasis which is today being advocated. Today you must be reading all the time, whether judges of this court or that court. They are all advocating that an effort be made to get the disputes resolved outside the court. Now arbitration, alternative dispute resolutions, things like that have come into picture. But while in my field these things are happening, things have changed, otherwise also there is a lot of change so far as the subject that we are discussing today is concerned. There was a time when parents thought of choosing a career for their sons, daughters. And what did they have? How many professions? We thought of 3 initially. Lawyer was always there. Doctor, engineer, maybe later chartered accountants. Maybe 1 or 2 more we can think of. But how many we have today? You can multiply them by 100 or even 1,000. Because each profession has developed its own specialities, and each speciality is a subject by itself. In every family now today, I can take my own family. I was talking the other day with my grandson, who is an engineer in the making, mechanical engineer. So I asked him, where are you? He said, presently I have come to IIT Kanpur for some research. I said, you are studying for your engineering, but why do you go for research to IIT Kanpur? He said, no, I have been selected. So I said, but what are you doing? He said, we are doing some research on valves for the human heart. So I said to myself, what does a mechanical engineer have to do with human heart? I said, but I put that question to him. He said, but Dada, you are outdated. The content of the subject has changed. It is not merely a mechanical job that we deal with. There are so many types of mechanisms, there are so many types of things that are happening. And you won't be surprised if one day you will say that there is medical engineering or engineering medical, whatever way you put it. But the fact is that we are making something for the heart. That is the valve. So I said, what type of valve? Is it metallic? He said, no, it's not metallic. It can't be metallic. It has to be something else. Then he named some other scientific terms he mentioned to me, and he said, these are what we are trying to make. So then I said to myself that I had thought of an engineer, but this fellow is going to be something else. I have a granddaughter. She is now in USA. And she was doing computer engineering at Berkeley. She's still there. So I said, what is this computer engineering that you are doing? Then she mentioned a lot of technical terms which I didn't understand. But I could make out that she is not concerned with the computer. She is concerned with something else, which has something to do with satellites and moon and sun or whatever. So the content has changed there also. Now, leave aside these technical subjects, come to other simpler things like my own profession, legal. Today, how many types of lawyers do you have? If you have, unfortunately, to go to courts, then you will find out that, of course, there are lawyer who is doing civil work, lawyer who is doing criminal work, lawyer who is doing taxation work. But now you can go on adding to it. Now they are within that commercial world. You have lawyers who are specializing in intellectual property rights, lawyers who are specializing in matrimonial matters, like that. So what I want to say is that the development of specialities has given a wide range of choice for anyone today to join this or that profession. And that is where one may get confused. That is where one needs to be guided. I was told that your organization is helping people to select the proper profession suited to them, which means what? Which means, first of all, you have to make an assessment of the qualities, the propensities of the person with whom you are dealing, of the student or whoever. And then thinking where this person can be best suited. And thereafter, what would be the particular speciality where he may have to go. My son, who is a doctor, I'm telling you all this because, you see, even in a family all these things can happen. We are thinking of the world, of the whole country. He was a doctor, he is a doctor, and he was studying at the JIP Pondicherry, did very well, and then he was sponsored by the Royal Institute of the Institute of Medicine, of surgeons, which grants the FRCS. He was taken there, and they selected him for a course in his subject, that is ENT. And for the first time I heard that there is some such thing as cochlear implant. Later on I came to know that cochlear implant is an implant which is fitted into children, infants, between the age of 1.5 and 4.5, who are born deaf and dumb. Now, with that implant, they grow up, they start speaking, and as my son was one day lecturing, he said that, I don't promise that he'll be a Tendulkar, but he can certainly play cricket. He will be a normal person otherwise. He may not have many outstanding qualities, but some of them do have. And I heard a girl, aged about 10 or 12, she recited a poem so well that no one could ever make out that she was deaf or dumb. So these are the specialities. How many specialities you have in medicine? Hundreds. So therefore, what your organization is doing is a very great job for the people. If you can guide them to the right destination, they will reach that destination someday. And they will thank you for what you did for them. Knowledge is certainly a very important aspect of your achievements in life. Very often people confuse between knowledge and education. Mere knowledge does not make you an educated person. You are knowledgeable, but yet people will say he is not educated. Why? And that is what I would like to make a point in my message to you, that in whatever you do, in the field of education, the field of science, the field of literature, as a medical practitioner, as a legal practitioner, or whatever be your profession, apart from your knowledge, apart from your quality to utilize your knowledge, what is most important is the ethical content of your profession. That is something which is forgotten. If you join business, you also join business to make your contribution to society, not merely to make money. If you are a doctor and you are there to save humanity, But things have reached a limit today in that field also, where a lot of distrust has been generated on account of the unethical content of some of the members of the profession. Largely, it is still a very ethical profession. But then certain things have happened. You and I, all of us experienced that. People are scared of going to hospitals. Not because they will not be saved, they may or may not be saved, but they say that whatever we have saved will be gone. Things have become very expensive. Therefore, I will only request all the members of the organization that whatever you do, wherever you do, that sense of, that ethical content of the profession must be emphasized. As every brilliant person, in fact, let me tell you in the crude words, every scoundrel is intelligent. You will not find a foolish scoundrel. He is a scoundrel because he is intelligent, that because he has that brain. That brain can be put to useful tasks, that brain can be put for other tasks. A scientist can create a bomb, a scientist can create a medicine which can save life. Therefore, ultimately, when you train a person to join a particular profession, tell him what are his obligations to society, what is the ethical content of his profession, and how he should go about doing that. Thank you very much.